Good morning, everybody. Happy Victory Monday.
What it is.
What's up? What's up?
A new week is here, Hooks.
I know, man. This is a big one for a lot of people. Big week. You got
Is it a big week?
Well, you got kids. Last week of school.
Yeah.
You got probably frantic shopping, right?
Mm-hmm.
High school and junior high kids, or some of them. I mean, it depends on where you go to school. Finals week.
Yeah.
Hate though. I gave the shakes.
I don't miss that at all.
And also, it's a Monday. Everybody's exhausted.
Oh man, I don't miss that at all. Finals, all that bull crap.
Morning Shane, morning Ernesto.
What's up, boys?
We're doing that today. Today is a day that Stace and I are going to spend the afternoon finishing up all the loose ends of Christmas.
Getting it all done.
Got to get it done. Like, today's the only day I got this week. I'm like, honey, I can give you today.
Yeah, I got to do some stuff.
Holiday parties. We got our holiday party on. God, don't we go? Are you going this week?
What are you talking about?
To the little Alpha get together?
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see that email. I was too busy responding to the Merry Monday one.
Oh, I did too. I responded to that.
You didn't respond to that.
Separately. She said, or just me. I don't like full responses.
Well, why? I want to see what you said.
I'll tell you if you just ask. You didn't even respond to everybody.
I was waiting. I was just seeing it. And I had to figure out what to put. I got to figure out what my favorite movie is.
You didn't do it yet?
No, not yet.
I already did. That's easy. That's an easy one for me.
National Lampoons.
No, gosh, no. Yeah, Shane, tough one last night.
Yeah, that sucked, man. They didn't. Packers were hot.
I told you.
Is it in the newsletter or is it a separate email?
It's in the newsletter. Let me Oh, well, where'd it go?
A Merry Monday. Oh, festive. Together Tuesday.
Tomorrow at 3:30.
Oh, man.
Let's go, bro. Dude, did we roll last year?
We did. I got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow, though.
Come on, man. Just for an hour. Kick it for an hour. It was fun last year. Remember that?
It could be a reason for me to leave work early.
We kicked it last year for a hot minute there.
Yeah, well, I see, but then I got to go to my parents and help them with a few things.
Okay.
And then I have a going away party that night.
Come on, man.
I would know because it's in my calendar. And maybe I'll have time before I go to the parents to stop by.
What time is that? I can't go unless you go. We got to kick it.
I'm going to show up right when it starts.
Done.
Yeah.
That's so money. I'm in.
All right.
Don't tell anybody else.
Yeah, well, I think we all know.
Don't tell anybody else.
Who's going to be there.
I know. Don't. No. If that text comes out, you're like, I'll be there at 6. I got to tell my wife that we're doing that tomorrow. Somebody's at the front door.
Not my problem.
Oh, Max, that's a great question. You and I got to talk about that.
What?
If we're going to do a Christmas happy hour / party.
We got to talk to Animal.
Yeah. We're working on it. We like to. We would like to.
And if it's after Christmas, we'll deal with it.
We're both here. What time is the bowl game? Maybe that's like a bowl game
11.
Watch. Yeah, we could do a happy hour Christmas or like a bowl game watch.
It's not a bad idea. Do bowl game watch at tavern.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll do something. Front door's still going off. Nobody wants to answer that door.
Tell Rob to get off his ass and go get him.
This is the Morning Hookup on KFOR.
It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets trying to consume some skirts for the E so I could get some phones.
Good morning, Lincoln, Nebraska. Happy Victory Monday. Welcome in the morning. Hookup, Bill Hooks, Will Wilson. Top of the week, Will Wilson.
New week.
How was the weekend, brother?
It was good. It was good. Really good.
It was good around these parts. I promise you that. We're going to get to a lot of Husker talk coming up. There's a lot of momentum in Husker athletics right now. A lot of it. I'm going to get to all of that coming up. We'll have Evan Bland with Omaha World Herald. We'll talk to him about all that stuff. NFL picks. How do we do the week? We'll look at that. Stories, scores, top 3, bottom 3.
Yeah.
We're getting down to the nitty-gritty now in the NFL.
Indeed.
Jockeying for position. I told you what could happen when we get there. Somebody was going to get beat, and your Vikings have a chance tonight.
That's right.
To get to the top.
How exciting.
There's a lot of great games this weekend from the NFL. A lot of individual performances in the NFL this week. They were pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some good games. That last one, I believe I was on Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, I was. I was on Detroit. You were the only one on Buffalo. Man, to score that many points in back-to-back road games is pretty impressive.
Pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy to watch the 2 quarterbacks perform in that game. How good they both were.
Mm-hmm.
One has probably thrust himself to the top of the MVP talk.
We get a doubleheader tonight.
Tonight, we'll talk about that, and we'll have another daily wager.
Yeah, you're hot.
I gave up. I just donated $2 more.
You are hot.
Thank you, Nebraska Hoops.
In the daily wager.
Thank you, Nebraska Hoops.
Pretty good.
So how was you had a good weekend, right? Good weekend.
Yeah, Nora and we went to the game Friday night.
Tell me what it was like.
Oh,
let's go there.
Hoops
responds in a big way, by the way.
The weather was crappy.
Oh yeah.
You had a lot of people at the volleyball game.
Mm-hmm.
So, the crowd wasn't great according to my eyes.
Not something that you're used to.
The students showed up.
It was bad timing. It was bad timing for the game, obviously, with volleyball going on and all of that. But it was real bad timing for all of that.
But the students showed up.
Yeah.
Students showed up.
Here's what happens when you look at this. You go back, and I just look, we did a little research. So now Nebraska Hoops has won 11 straight Big Ten home games. Okay. 18 straight home games themselves have been won. Again, they haven't lost a home game in over a year.
Yeah.
And now we count that. You keep that ticker going. We're at 654 days now since they lost a Big Ten game.
Hey, listen.
Home dominance.
We're a home team. Teams come in here. They struggle to shoot. Indiana struggled to shoot.
Yeah.
And I think we tend to shoot a lot better. I think we shot close to 60% from the field.
I think I want to say it was 6. At one point, I saw 62% because I was at volleyball, and as late as the match was, the first match, I watched the entire Hoops game on my phone.
From the stands at the
From
Bob.
my seats at the Bob. You go back and look at it. I mean, big time response. 30 of 49. They shot 61%. Well, and I think you're on to something here, by the way. You've mentioned this a few times. Their 3-point attempts, 8 of 14. They only took 14 threes. How about that?
Yeah, Nebraska, yeah.
That wasn't great from the line, but, kept rebounds, offensive boards that got beat up on. But, man, you just find a way, and your defense held up. And Indiana had a really bad ending to that game, 1 of 18 down the stretch.
Big time.
85-68.
Yeah.
You look at some of the stats. Gary, good night, 14 and 5, 5 of 10. Bryce Webb, how about throw up 30?
Man, he was
just
on
a
it.
30 spot. Connor does his thing, 4 of 7. He has 13. Morgan, decent night, 4 of 5, 10 points, 5 rebounds. Euless hits a 3 in the game, and man, you get rolling, man. You had a ton of us good. Like if you look at the assist number, that's what the offense got back to moving again.
Yeah. And I think our bigs are improving too. I think Morgan is looking better as each game comes along, which is great news.
Yeah, I mean, we had 16 assists on 30 made buckets.
It was a good overall night. I think we're all going to be happy when we come home. And I need to look more at the home schedule to see who else is coming to town. I think maybe Illinois comes here. Does that sound right?
I had this up earlier. Sorry, I should have.
Is Illinois right now?
But I think you had a concern, by the way, of the number of games being played in the next 3 weeks.
I don't know if
playing
that's
a lot.
Well, I don't know if that's a concern though. According to my math, I think we're about to play our 3rd game in 21 days.
Yes, you don't play again until Sunday, the 22nd of Monday. You're headed to Hawaii as well, so you got that going on. But you talk about games coming up. You talk about how much the home court is needed, how important it is. When you get back, you flip the calendar in January. You got UCLA coming to town. January 4th. That's Legends Weekend, by the way. January 4th. You mentioned other teams coming to town. You do have later in the month of January. At the end, you got Illinois coming to town.
Yeah, Rutgers coming to town.
Rutgers coming to town, who is a decent basketball team. But yeah, but a lot of fun. They got it done though.
Yeah,
Bounce back in a big way. Home crowd.
and I think going 1-1 in those 2 games is what Hoiberg wanted,
Mhm.
and we did it. It could be worse. Wisconsin 0-2 to start Big Ten play. They're down with Minnesota and
Wow.
there's another team down there. Maybe Iowa. Does that sound right?
Could be. Iowa's not very good.
Well, yeah, we'll take it, man. No, it's not Iowa. Who is it? It's Washington.
Oh, I don't know much about them.
No,
We got to go out there this year.
Out of all the teams that joined the Big Ten, they're the one that's like, oh,
They're there.
yeah.
Forget about them.
Washington.
Who?
Interesting.
So the Nebraska basketball gets it done. How about volleyball? Headed back to the Final Four.
Going to Louisville.
My goodness, what a weekend it was there at the Bob. Started out Friday night. Obviously, talk about weather. It was a little slippery out, by the way.
Was it?
We were heading down there. Got there, and again, there was great volleyball before Wisconsin A&M. Really interesting times as we're all there. The Bob was packed about the third set. So we got to about the third set, watching it. Nebraska fans, it was the question of the night was the Bob was full for this match because you're anticipating because you don't know when. One, you want to see good volleyball. Two, you didn't have no idea when the match was going to start. It was 30 minutes after the conclusion. So it's kind of a.
So if you bought a ticket to the Nebraska game, you automatically.
No, you get both games. If you had a ticket, the ticket started for the whole day.
Okay.
You got both games.
Got it.
Both matches. So the anticipation was building as you're in there. And you got, where I'm sitting, you got Wisconsin fans. You got, like, Dayton, by the way, showed out. They had like 100 and some fans.
Really?
They showed out. Then you found yourself.
By the way,
halfway.
can I potentially be really stupid right now?
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah, potentially. Go.
Dayton is in Ohio.
Yep, you nailed it.
All right,
the
good.
Flyers, baby.
All right.
So then you got to the point the match started getting intense. Like they go 2-1, they go to 5. Next thing you know, they got this. Like it started with the video board. They were showing, they go around and show the fans. This one fan had this sign said something like "Go Big Red," right? He flipped it over and it said "Temporary A&M fan."
Oh.
So then you got a A&M crowd and Nebraska crowd cheering for A&M.
Wow.
They turned it on us. Wisconsin wins, they leave, blah, blah, blah. It was a great match. As Dayton came to the floor, their Flyer fans were up, standing up. Let's go Flyers chant. The Wisconsin people stood up, did the same thing. Let's go Flyers.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got to say, Wisconsin's head coach,
Kelly Sheffield.
Sheffield,
Yes.
he did a classy move
He did.
when he was leaving the court. He started clapping our student
We
section.
were right there. We could see him do it. Right. He walked right by us, clapped, and said, "What?" He said, "Job well done."
Yeah, that's a class act.
So you get that done. By the way, that night, the first night, thank gosh, we had Harper Murray. Harper Murray carried the way that first night. She ends up being regional player of the year, of the whole Lincoln bracket.
She was incredible.
22 and 16 or something like that. Okay. Fast forward, go back. Now you're at the Wisconsin match. There had to be so much. We were talking about how much pressure this must have been. You're at home. You're playing your rival, your volleyball rival, essentially, right? You've already beaten them twice. You're expected to win. All the seniors, that your mission all year long has been to do what? Win the Big Ten, get back to the Final Four. How much I just can imagine.
Yeah,
they
but you know what?
absolutely balled out.
I wouldn't be surprised if this team feels no pressure.
I
I
don't
mean, they
know,
went
but-
out last night to where you didn't notice that at all.
No, and big time players rise to the occasion. Friday night it was Harper Murray because Beeson was off, Jackson was off. And then you get to Sunday, Taylor Lanfair. My goodness, biggest output of the year. Boom. You also the defense won the show. I don't. How many times I could say how impressive Lexi Rodriguez is on the court? Beyond it, just and then when you think she's done enough, she does more.
I mean, if you watched that game last night, ask yourself how many times you said "wow."
Every time. When you look at it, Lanfair with 13 kills, she hit 267. Jackson and Murray 10 kills each. Rodriguez 17 digs.
Wow.
Murray also added 17 digs.
Jeez.
Rodriguez is now 9 away. Her 9th dig coming up will set the all-time digs record at Nebraska.
All right. It's incredible.
Setting the bar.
By the way,
3-0. By the way, also in that mix, you look back on the season, You played Wisconsin 3 times. How many sets did Wisconsin take from us? None.
Yeah.
9-0. Blank them.
Fantastic. You talk about Harper Murray. There's a big, huge possibility that she could be the best player in volleyball next year.
Yes.
And she'll only be a junior, right?
Yes. She might be right now.
Imagine
She might be right now. Actually,
by
Lexi
her senior
Rodriguez,
year, she's going to be the best player in volleyball, no doubt.
for what it's worth, Lexi Rodriguez might be the best player right now in the country. Should be player of the year. Never happened. Libera's never been up for that award.
Oh, wow.
Will she even be nominated? That'd be interesting to see when it comes up.
She better be.
Look at the numbers, by the way. This is the 7th Final Four in the last 10 years for Nebraska volleyball. 17th time being there, second most in history. 134 tournament wins, second most. That's 26 straight tournament home wins.
Mm.
Also, that is now their 45th straight home win. Both, one's a record, one's the longest standing right now. They'll get it going Thursday night. They got the second match. Big one ahead. By the way, did they get it right? All chalk. You got all 4 number 1s.
Yeah. Good for them.
Penn State's in the way.
That is going to be an absolute battle. Penn State, Nebraska.
Penn State is in the way.
That is going to be a bloodbath. And
I
I can't wait.
It'd be awesome. I know a lot of people. That have been making their way out there. So safe travels out there.
To the Yum Center.
To the Yum Yum.
The KFC Yum Center.
KFC Yum Center.
Do you think they sell famous bowls there?
Be awesome.
Good for them.
Yeah. So congratulations there. By the way, stories just coming out, by the way. Nebraska football. It's official. The game against Cincinnati headed to Arrowhead.
Officially. Okay.
Story just came out.
Good.
Headed to Arrowhead. How about that?
All right.
Wow.
Cool.
76,000. See, that's like a Nebraska home game.
It's a great move.
Yes.
It's a great move. I mean, Lucas Oil, it's the heart of the Big Ten. But when you're talking these two schools, I mean, is Cincinnati really going to bring a lot of fans?
Yeah. This is going to be a Thursday night, probably, by the way. It's going to make sense on a Thursday night.
Thursday night.
Royals are in town Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I believe. Thursday night. Have all your eyes, opening game.
Hey, that sounds awesome. To go down Thursday and stay the weekend, have a nice 4-day weekend in Kansas City.
Sounds like a whole weekend to me.
Royals are in town. That sounds awesome.
Sounds
Chiefs,
like...
maybe, probably not Chiefs. No, on
Why
Sunday.
Not?
You think they play Sunday?
I doubt it.
Yeah. Either way,
I don't know. I'd be no.
I'm sure you're
logistically. Yeah, I'm going down to Kansas.
I was gonna say, I think you just booked your hotel.
Yeah, might as well go and do it now. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Well, let's get Evan on the horn.
Let's do that. All right, coming up, Evan Bland after the break.
You're listening to the Morning Hookup with Bill Hooks and Will Wilson. More coming up.
Good stuff. Yeah, Shane, that is a stats and interesting one. Golf is you just see that they were talking about that yesterday on the telecast too. That he's won a game where he threw 5 picks, and now he's lost a game where he threw 5 touchdowns. There's a game they won. I forget who they were playing. Morning right 8:40. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
That thing had 90 points in it.
All right, I'm gonna respond to
To what?
the Merry Monday email chain.
Yeah. Are you hitting all response?
Yeah, of course.
I don't do that.
Because I'm trying to be funny with this one.
Can't wait to see this response come across.
I hope the GIF converts.
Oh, I want to know what yours is. I'd be interested. I didn't. I just simply.
Oh, it works. Yes. All right.
I simply just emailed back.
Oh, wait. I don't want to email to him. No.
That's the other thing. I messed up emails. Did you just hit reply all?
Reply all?
Isn't that what you're supposed to do when you? And now you're trying to do is email everybody?
Yeah. All right.
Did you just send it?
I just did.
I can't wait to see this, what this looks like. Hasn't come across yet. Refresh email. Haven't seen it yet. The email, by the way, he's responding to is that it's Merry Monday around here. It's kind of a week long of cheer, holiday cheer around the station. Today was email was favorite Christmas movie.
And you got to send a photo.
Are you?
You have to send a photo of what it is.
I did not do that. Is that what it said?
Yeah.
No, it didn't. It says reply to this email.
I thought it said with a.
I'll report back. Staff favorites. Everybody participates. You're in the running for a pair of passes. That's it. That's awesome. That's. Oh, by the way, I should have sent that. You and I have this same exact movie.
But not the same scene.
Not the same scene, but it's the movie. Every time I turn it on, Christmas Story. Every time I turn it on, my family leaves. Other room.
Nora likes that movie.
It's the best.
The GIF I sent was the Basset Hounds. Is that what they call them?
Yeah. What you guys?
The Bumpus dogs.
Those are awesome.
The Bumpus Hounds or whatever. The GIF is them tearing apart the kitchen.
You guys should play along. Chime in on the chat if you want to. Favorite Christmas movie. Throw it in there for us. It's funny that Will and I are the same one. Christmas Story. Shoot your eye out. Boy, voice is cracking. Wow. Congrats, Ryan 840. Drive safe. He says rolling back from Broncos country. They got the dub. That was a up and down kind of victory, wasn't it? I think Bo tried to throw it away.
I was on the Colts yesterday. That's why they won.
Welcome back in the morning hookup. Happy Victory Monday. Let's bring on our guy from the Omaha World Herald, Evan Bland. Evan, happy Victory Monday.
Happy, Final Four Monday.
I know. You know what? We're going to go right there and talk about it because it feels like there's a lot of momentum in Husker athletics right now. When you look at basketball responded really well and their home winning streak that's going on. Volleyball headed back to the Final Four 7 out of the last 10 years. And then there's a lot of cool momentum with Nebraska football with coaching and getting this Kansas City, connection. And it feels really good right now that Nebraska athletics could be heading in a better, more bright, sunny direction right now.
Yeah, no doubt. And you could keep going. You could say softball is going to get Jordy Ball back in the spring, and you could say baseball is going to be either the favorite or number 2 in a 17-team baseball Big Ten. Women's basketball is off to a really strong start, and on the wrestling program's been top 5 for a long time. So yeah, I mean it's been really impressive for a while, and I think some of that probably has to do with the climate of college athletics right now, where there is a lot of NIL support for players, and starting next fall, there's going to be a lot of revenue sharing, where Nebraska is going to be offering the peak amount that the school can put forth, and so you're seeing that in part attract recruits and attract coaches, and it's becoming clear that if you're not in one of the kind of the power conferences at this point, it's really hard to compete from a resources perspective. And so Nebraska, to its credit, has been really, pushing the envelope, I think, in terms of the resources that it's offering, the facilities that are out there, the tradition, the fan base, the academics, all the things that have been attractive for a long time about Nebraska. Now you add that ability to pay competitively. I think all that kind of goes into it in terms of the coaches, the players that are here. And, once you get a little bit of momentum, it can keep rolling and going downhill. And certainly we're seeing that right now with the volleyball program, basketball. It does feel like football, that build is coming, that that anticipated year 3 under Matt Rule that he's done elsewhere. That's coming up here too. So yeah, it's a fun time to be a Husker fan, and we'll see what kind of new heights can be reached here in the near and the distant future.
We're talking to Evan Bland. Evan, I want to go back. I want to start with basketball because I think we're going to spend most of our time talking about volleyball here in a few minutes. But let's go back to Friday night. Indiana comes to town, and the Nebraska men's basketball team, they bounced back after a bad showing at Michigan State. What did you like from that team Friday night?
I mean, just that the whole bounce back aspect of it. You go to Michigan State and you get punked, quite honestly, and you wonder how they're going to respond to that. And I think you credit Fred Hoiberg for pushing the right buttons there. He kind of came out and said, hey, this is typically kind of the schedule they follow in terms of physical recovery and moving forward. And he's like, forget that. Like, we need to get in some good work this week after the egg that they laid in East Lansing. And so I think that's a good sign that he has his finger on the pulse of this team and what motivates these guys and what they need to take that next step. And so they come out and, they don't play a perfect game by any means. I think the free throw shooting was a little shaky and it had some turnovers and things like that, but they still are able to pull away at home. And so I think it also further validates this idea that Pinnacle Bank Arena is a really hard place to play if you're a visiting team. And that was certainly true last year, but you kind of wondered how that would carry over with a cast of characters that's a little bit different on the Nebraska side. And the early indications are it's still one of the best home court advantages in college basketball, where Indiana comes in and just it's hard for them to get going, even though that they got a pretty strong effort from some of their top guys as well. So yeah, impressive for Nebraska. I think it probably tells you there's going to be sort of a Jekyll and Hyde thing again, maybe, where they play well at home. We'll see how that goes on the road. If you can steal a couple of road wins and hold serve at home, you're going to finish in the upper half of the conference and be in that bubble conversation for the NCAA tournament at least. So a good start, important start for them. To get that kind of resume building win. And, I'm here for all the jokes about now how Indiana's the football school and Nebraska's the basketball school. So we can tell those too.
That's funny. I have something funny about that with Wisconsin volleyball in a minute, but talk about that rise of Pinnacle Bank Arena and how it got there, because I was worried when it was built because you weren't the best of programs, right, in basketball. And then you had Tim Miles come in. I want to credit Tim because he was your guy that wanted this to be a party, wanted this to be an environment, always, the antics of getting his hands thrown up in the air, and where that started, where it's at now, because again, like I said, I was worried that was not going to be what it is today.
Here's what I'll say about PBA, and I think they've done a really good job of that place being sort of a blank slate when you talk about some of Nebraska athletics top teams. So you think about Memorial Stadium, and there's been a sellout streak and sort of how that's become at times a burden through the years. And the team hasn't been great. And so there's sort of this obligation to go. And you look at, say, volleyball, and they're selling out. But it's hard if you're sort of a casual fan to get a seat because the demand is so high. I think PBA strikes that balance really well, where it's the environment where really, if you want a ticket and you want to go, you can go, and it's not that expensive. And you're not sort of burdened by these bigger expectations. Like if you play well and you're in the postseason hunt, that's a pretty good season by Nebraska basketball standards. So I think it's become the most organically fun place. It's been a place where you see a lot of young fans, maybe more younger fans than you do in some of the other sports that I just mentioned. And, it's just kind of that place where you can go and have a good time. And the student section is probably as impactful there, more so than they are in any other sport. And so, it's one of those programs where there hasn't been a lot of history or a lot of good history. And so it kind of feels like you're starting something new, and that's hard to do at Nebraska. And so they've made it fun. The entertainment's good. Now the basketball has been better too. And so you bring all those things together, and it's an intimidating environment. It's loud. People are thirsty for success. And so I think they've done a really good job of making that maybe the kind of the cool place to be, kind of the hip spot in Nebraska athletics right now.
By the way, that was the joke I was going to tell. So at volleyball, and I know Will's going to ask a question in a minute, but Wisconsin had not only a bunch of fans at volleyball, and I think Evan, you probably saw this in the band, their pet band, they had cheerleaders, they had Bucky. The joke in our section was that they weren't preparing for a bowl game, and now they're all coming because they're a volleyball school.
Yeah, sure. I mean, what was their, 22 years in a row, and now they're staying home. So you got to spend that travel budget somewhere else. So there it is. And I'll give them credit. Like their pet band was really good.
Yeah, it was.
And they showed up. But yeah, I mean, their fall season is done. How crazy is that? No Final Four, no bowl game. They're on to basketball season full bore.
And well, we're already there. Let's talk about last night. Wisconsin goes down 9-0 sweep against Wisconsin during the season. Evan, who is your MVP last night? And I know that's a harder question than it seems because you could go many different ways with this.
Wow. Yeah. It is. I mean, it is. I guess Taylor Landfair, if you had to pick one, it's season high tying kills. I think 13 was her number. And that was an example to me of like, if you're one of your top hitters isn't going off, like somebody else will. Like Merritt Beeson has been their best hitter most of the season, and she had a pretty quiet match, and it didn't matter because Taylor Landfair stepped up and because Andy Jackson was dunking volleyballs. Like she had a kill in the second set where she like went up and waited for the block to go down before she finished. Like she had that kind of explosiveness to go up and finish. They had that rally in the second set that was like 45 seconds, and Lexi Rodriguez is diving, making plays, and they finish it off and kind of run away with the set. Lainey Choboy runs into John Cook, saving a ball on the sidelines on a point that Nebraska wins. And I mean, you can just kind of go along. Rebecca Alec had another really strong game. Bergen Riley's just been automatic all season. So like, I mean, that's what really stood out to me was the ridiculous depth that Nebraska has, where again, like if two of your better players aren't having great nights, like somebody else is probably going to. And, you have former top recruits that are on the bench that don't even get in the match. I mean, Lindsey Krause could have come in and held her own and they didn't need her. And Kennedy Orr, kind of the same thing. And so just the depth, the chemistry, they were, playing, I thought, at their peak, and the crowd was really into it. Like you talk about the Devaney crowd. I mean, they came to go. Of all this, that's the group that is just the most veteran in these moments. Like they've been through so many NCAA tournament runs. They know when they need to kind of give their team a little boost, or when to get loud, or when they can intimidate an opponent. And so like it all came together, and they made a Wisconsin team that still has a bunch of NCAA champions on it look pretty ordinary. And that's a pretty remarkable feat. Says a lot about what Nebraska is doing. And I mean, they're heading to Louisville playing the best volleyball of the season.
Yeah, my throat still feels it from being there yesterday. But Evan, before we get out of here, I want to talk about one of those players, and you had a great story on them and her family, and that's Lexi Rodriguez. First of all, we know her personality and what it's been in her tenacious defense. When you look back in the story that you did and that, how will she be remembered? Like in what ranking of Nebraska? I mean, number one volleyball probably, right? Because you guys are the ton of them. She's going to be up there with only needing 9 digs away from taking that record. But when you look back at the whole gamut, where's she going to be ranked at as one of the most memorable athletes here at Nebraska?
Yeah, I mean, she'll be high up there. I mean, it's going to end up being one of 3 4-time All-Americans when you add Sarah Pavin and Katie Rolfson in there. Justine Wong-Orantes has sort of been the gold standard for Nebraska liberos. She was an Olympian, so that's still maybe something that Lexi's chasing after, and then that's her record that she'll probably take down on Thursday in the Final Four. Most of the players that are sort of the all-time greats with Nebraska volleyball are hitters. You have a few setters in there. There aren't a ton of defensive specialists or liberos. Again, Wong-Orantes is probably number one. I mean, Lexi Rodriguez might be number one here at the end. I think to get that, she probably needs to win a national championship this week, because most of Nebraska's best players were on championship teams, and that just hasn't been the case here lately. But I think the thing about Lexi too is like she's been the heart and soul of this team for her career at Nebraska, and just the joy that she plays with, I think, is really infectious. Like you watch her play, and you're like, man, I think it'd be fun to play with Lexi Rodriguez. And there's something about, I think, athletes that stand out as much as she does that look like everybody else. That's inspiring. Like, you look at the 6'5" outside hitter and you're like, wow, that's really impressive. But what is she, 5'9"? And you're like, there are a lot of 5'9" people out there that can't move the way that she can, that can't dig balls the way that she can. Like that's the thing I think that's really cool too, is like proportionally, it looks like she blends in until she gets out on the court and she's doing things that nobody else can do and making such an impact, with her shorter stature. So I just think, the joy, the way that she's impacted things and that intangible impact that she's brought to this team, I think those are all things people will remember about her.
Evan, I got one more question before we get you out of here, because we haven't talked to you since last Monday. Since then, reports say that John Butler is going to be the new permanent DC. Talk about that. And my question is, how does he make Nebraska better? Can you pick one thing?
Yeah, I mean, he is. He had his press conference middle of last week to sort of break it down. I think the thing maybe would be more nuanced or tricky coverages, like later in downs. Like I think that was something Matt Rule talked a lot about, and John Butler did last week too. Is like, what do you do on third and long when you know the opponent's going to pass? Like that was an area or for a lot of the season that Nebraska struggled in, was giving up some of those third downs and maybe being a little too predictable in some of their coverages. So I think that's probably the area. And this is a guy who's done it at a really high level in the NFL for a long time. He was the secondary coach in Buffalo and was a big part of that unit's transformation. He does have DC experience from his time at Penn State. And he was one of the top contenders to be an NFL defensive coordinator a year ago when they went a different direction. So like, this is someone who has a really strong grasp on scheme. I think his track record of identifying personnel and where to put them is really high as well. And so I think that's probably, to hear Matt Rule talk about it and what Butler wants to do, I would say it's shoring up those third down situations so you can get off the field instead of some of those longer drives that maybe hampered Nebraska at times this season.
Evan, man, we appreciate your time as always, especially on Victory Mondays, my friend. Take care of yourself. We'll talk to you real soon.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Evan Blam, Omaha World Herald, right there, my friend. That was good stuff. That was good. I think that was an interesting question you asked about Butler.
Yeah.
I want to see, and it's starting to happen, and we'll get more into it as we get down the road, is who's he surrounding himself with? Because I know there's a lot of question marks about what's the defense going to be like, and people are questioning the secondary, right? We didn't play great. No, and he was the guy. So a lot more to come from that. Let's take another break and come back. Let's jump into how well I did in the NFL this week.
More next on the Morning Hookup on KFOR.
Oh, it's so funny. It's good stuff. It is. I can see I went and looked on the schedule, the football schedule. It's slated. They've got Thursday night on there, on the Nebraska site. So assuming Thursday night.
Okay. That'll be fun.
It's another home game.
Because we were supposed to go to Cincinnati.
Well, no.
The COVID year.
Yeah, COVID year. And then they thought they're going to play it at in Indy. And now they've moved that on. Because there's no way. Like, it's all going to be revenue. It's all be selling the place out. And they weren't going to get enough people to go to Indy.
You think so?
No, there's no way. Kansas City now, they're drawing Nebraska fans, and Cincinnati will have a good, but 76,000 seat stadium.
Yeah. So is the Final Four this weekend?
Yes, Thursday night. Nebraska will play Thursday night. I believe around 8:00. They're the second match.
Okay. And then if we win that,
Sunday.
It'd be Sunday.
It'd be Sunday.
See, I'm hoping we make it to the finals, because last year I made a killing on my Sunday happy hour shift.
You're like,
game,
come on.
so.
I got it. But I think it's How long do you work for happy hour? Because I want to say that's gonna be like a 5:30-ish time frame, I think.
Well, last year was early.
Let me look. It probably is. I got the bracket. So I'm scrolling through the bracket here. Is that the 22nd? Yeah, so you're right. It'd be 2:00 start. I'm looking at it right now.
Perfect.
Nebraska's supposed to approximately play the first match on Thursday is Pitt and Louisville, 5:30. And then Nebraska's slated to play at 8 Thursday night. Then the two will play Sunday at 2 p.m. for the title.
God, I hope we make it there.
Would it be absolutely insane? Like, you look at the potential matchups, right? Obviously, we're going to have to take down Penn State. They got us at home, right? Louisville, Bus Boom, Nebraska, John Cook. Playing against one of your former players. You're trying to take down your coach. You're at home.
Now,
2 rabid fan bases for volleyball,
we've
already taken them down there, remember?
I think I'm afraid. I would much rather play Louisville.
Pitt's good.
Pitt's really good.
Pitt's really good. They're not. I mean, they were number 1 seed for a reason.
Yeah.
Were you cheering against Creighton last night, or were you for him? Penn State, Creighton.
I was cheering for Creighton.
I was against him. I did not want. I had the whole social anxiety of like the pressure of now Creighton in the Final Four. You're playing. Morning, Nora. She said, rough morning for me.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm glad you're with us, Nora.
Sunday night drinking is fun.
Yeah, until it's not.
Yeah.
Sunday fun day until Monday.
Right.
That happened to me on I didn't feel bad, but Friday night after the match, right? We got home. Sophie and I got home at midnight. Volleyball didn't start till 9:15.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got home, I was so wired up. Went to bed at 2. Welcome back in the morning hookup. Special thanks to Evan Bland, Lamar Ward Howard, hanging out with us on a Monday. Will, we still got Operation Santa Claus going on, right? And we did find out you can donate through the end of the year. It's a great cause, great support for some of the less fortunate kids to provide them with a happy, healthy, fun Christmas to get stuff. Again, it's still blown away that it's been since 1948. So you guys can do all that. You can donate at kf4now.com. Or you can mail a check to 3800 Cornhusker Highway right here in the great city of Lincoln, 68504.
That's right. And Bill and I are matching each wager win we do on the daily wager.
Hooks is now up to $12.
Yeah, you are donating $12 to Operation Santa.
Which means I've won 6 in a row.
And I have lost 2 in a row.
Yeah. It's all right. You get back. So, guys, give us a shout. Go do that for us. Help out the kids out there. NFL yesterday.
Yeah.
You got our
I do.
How do we do? How did you do? I care about you.
I went 8-6.
That's good.
Nah, I could have been better. You went 11-3. And Dane went 9-5.
What? But you know what? What a weekend for all of us.
Yeah, I mean 8-6, big deal. That's not going to move the needle at all.
Who were the 3 that I messed up on?
You missed Miami.
Dumb. Miami, boy, there was so much hoopla and talk about them on the pregame shows.
You missed Carolina, and you missed Washington.
I said I put Carolina in there. Yeah.
We all did.
There's a lot of points.
I know. Well,
all right, man.
Tonight we have 2 more games.
Yeah, 2 more. Bears Vikings kick it off at 7:00 tonight on ABC, and you got 7:30 ESPN. Falcons Raiders.
Vikings, baby.
They got a chance now.
So they could take the division.
Well, I think so.
They would tie.
They would tie it. But maybe there's head-to-head. But they've lost to the Lions, right?
Yeah, they lost to the Lions.
Rolling through it. The Ravens got it down. We're going to look at the standings here in a minute. 35-14 Ravens. No problems there. Bengals. Boy, that's weird, man. 37. Their defense is bad.
Their defense isn't good.
37-27. It's a win. They keep pace for what they need. The Cowboys got to win 30-14. Chiefs, man, they look pedestrian again. 21-7. A lot of angst around the high ankle sprain possibility of Patrick Mahomes right now and what his availability will be going forward. Dolphins, like I said, they just laid an absolute egg. What did Tua have? Three picks?
3 picks. He
20
played
to
terrible.
12.
He was awful.
Jets got to win to get their 4th win of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, wow. The Jags scored 25.
I know.
30 with Mac Jones.
They had the Jets had to come back in that game.
Yeah, Devontae Adams went off 198, 2 touches in the game. Commanders hang on 20-19 to keep pace in that division. Again, if you didn't watch, the most entertaining thing all day long was the Bills and the Lions. 48-42. 2 quarterbacks in that thing. 362, 2 touchdowns through the air for Josh Allen. Jared Goff, 494 and 5 touches.
Jeez.
St. Brown, 14 catches, 193 yards. Johnson on the other side only had 5 catches, but he had 114. Cook went off 14 carries for 105.
Jeez.
I'm a little
back-to-back games where just the defense does not show up in a game the Buffalo Bills is playing in.
Yeah. Broncos get it down 31-13 in that game. Knicks threw 3 picks, but also threw 3 touchdowns in the game. Cardinals roll over I believe one of the worst teams in the NFL, 30-17 over the Patriots. Eagles get it done. 27-13. A lot of anxiety in there because of the A.J. Brown situation. But you know what you do? You wake him up and he goes, what do you have? 8 catches for 110 yards.
Nice.
1 touchdown.
Nice.
Buccaneers throttle.
Who saw that coming?
Nobody. Throttled them 40-17. Baker Mayfield, four tutties.
Unbelievable.
Packers, by the way, I told you, they're a pretty good football team.
Yeah, they
get it done. 30-13, and unfortunately, they don't know, but Geno got hurt in the game. They had to bring in Sam Howell. He's terrible.
Yikes.
In the Thursday night game, I don't know, whatever, 12-6. That was stupid.
Yeah, that sucked. All right, let's go to top 3, bottom 3.
All right, start at 31. You can mix all these guys up. I said one of the words. I got the Patriots there. I don't even know. 30.
I'm getting picky.
Oh,
yeah, we're getting into the season. I'm starting to get picky. Okay,
our pick.
So you had who at 30?
I had the Patriots there.
I have the Raiders at 30.
Yeah, I had the Raiders next after that.
You have them at 31.
Worse than that, yeah.
I have the Giants at 31.
Then I have the Giants at the end.
I have Dallas at the end. I'm going to keep that going. All right, let's go to top 3. Top 3 teams in the NFL.
That's crazy.
Number 3.
Kansas City. I left them in there.
They're
still winning. They're 12-1. All right, I left them in there.
I put Philly.
Okay. Got Philly at 3, huh? This is a tough one for me. I've got the Bills at 2.
So do I. I have the Bills at 2, which means you have Philly at number 1.
Number 1. I tell you what.
I have Kansas City at number 1.
Showed what I saw in that game. If you're watching, if they first of all, their defense is the best part of their entire team. They find a way to get the passing attack going like they did with that and Barkley, and they mix it together. They're going to be it's an awesome combination.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at it from there, I can't give it to the Bills. The Bills are winning, but they're scoring a ton of points. They ain't stopping nobody, right? They're scoring. Like I said, I think Josh Allen could be the MVP the way he's playing.
I don't disagree with that. I just look at Kansas City, and I mean, they've lost one, and I know it's an unpopular pick, but they're winning games.
They are winning games, and that's why I left them in there.
To me, one loss at this time means a lot, so I got to put them at 1. I ain't doing it.
Playoffs are starting to shape up just a little bit. Well, we got 3 weeks left, I believe, in the NFL. AFC, you got a couple of teams hanging out down there. The Chargers currently are 8-6.
Yep.
They hold the 7th spot. Now, you got 3 teams that are chasing behind them that they got to win out the rest of the year. You got the Colts, Miami, and Cincinnati, all at 6-8.
Wow.
I mean, the Broncos have the Broncos, and you have 3 teams at 9-5. Houston at the 4 spot, Baltimore at the 5 spot, and Denver sitting there.
Yeah, you'd have Chargers going to the Bills right now. You'd have Broncos going to Pittsburgh, and you'd have Baltimore going to Houston.
Yeah, there's some good games. NFC on the other side right now, you still got the Lions sitting at the top right now, 12-2 in that one. Philly sitting there also at 12-2. Right now, it's sitting at where the Eagles are 2, and that Bucks 3, Rams 4, which is funny. The Rams are 4, and they scored 12 points. They're leading the division. Vikings sitting at 5 at 11-2. Packers 10-4. Commanders at 9-5. You look back, there is a race at the bottom still. If you look at it, you got Washington at 9-5. Seattle at 8-6. Arizona 7-7. Got a couple teams still vying to get there. And some of that could be all mixed up in changes right now, because right now you have Tampa at 8-6 and leading their division. Can the Falcons, big game for the Falcons tonight, try to hold serve it and get it to 7-7?
Yeah, you'd have Washington going to Philly, you'd have Green Bay going to Tampa, and the Vikings would go to LA to play the Rams.
You look at that, man. Is that the best overall? Is it the best, or I don't know how to say it. Is it the best division in football?
What, the NFC North? Yeah, I think so.
Look at those teams: 12-2, 11-2, 10-4. All of them right now are carrying a 99% chance or higher of going to the postseason.
Yeah, it's the best division for sure.
Two teams have clinched. By the way, Detroit and Minnesota are in, by the way. You know that, right?
Mhm.
They're in. They clinched.
I love it. Who would have thought the Vikings would be clinching early with Sam Darnold? Nobody.
Not one person out there.
Nobody. Let's take a break.
Let's go. We'll take another break. We'll come back to stories that we missed.
You're listening to the Morning Hookup with Bill Hooks and Will Wilson. More coming up.
Daily wager, daily wager, daily wager.
I'll be back.
Oh, where you going?
I got to pee back.
Oh, gosh. That's why you had to take a break. Potty break for a Will. Daily wager. I'm going to go into here. Let's go back here. I think I'm going to go NFL wager. Come on, why did they give me his rush yards? I want rushing yards. Yeah, I'll take that. Okay, here we go. Good stuff. Heard the bathroom. Here it comes. Look who's back. Back again. Will Wilson's back. Back again.
That was needed.
I wrote my daily wager down.
I got some good stories.
Let's go. Right, line them up. But I didn't even realize it went 11-3. That's crazy. That's all good weeks, though. Everybody's above 500. Welcome back in the morning hookup. Few moments left on a Victory Monday. Thanks for hanging out with us like you always do. Gonna get to those stories, Will. You ready to rock them?
In a
Said
second.
you got a bunch. Gonna rock it.
Yeah, you want to do? Let's
We
do
do
daily wager.
Let's hit the wager.
Let's do that first.
I'm going to NFL. I'm going to go into the Falcons game. I have Bijan Robinson tonight. Bijan. Not rushing. I'm going to go receiving. His number is 27.5. I'm taking the overs minus 120.
All right.
Bijan out of the backfield for receiving yards. Hoping to donate $2 more to Operation Santa Claus.
I'm going to go to the NFL as well, but I'm going to go to the Vikings game. Justin Jefferson came out of his slump last week, had 2 touchdowns. He's going to continue tonight. Anytime touchdown, Justin Jefferson plus 102.
Plus, why? I'm interested. That's plus money.
I know. It's juicy. It is juicy.
Nice. Love it. All right, there's our daily wagers. Now, stories that we missed.
The stories we missed. The morning hookup.
All right, I was doing some digging on this
It's called research.
Juan Soto contract.
Yeah.
With the
Absurd, isn't it?
with the Mets. Not only did he get a crazy amount of money, listen to some of the perks. This is something I'm sure, requested. You know, when they were like, all right, we'll give you this money. What else do you want?
Yeah.
This is what he said. These are some extra things in the contract. He gets the number 22 jersey.
Okay.
That apparently was a deal breaker. He wanted the number 22.
Okay. I wonder who had it.
He gets a luxury suite at Citi Field.
Yeah.
He gets 4 premium seats per home game.
Because you can't afford to buy them.
He will get $500,000 if he wins the MVP, and he will win $1 million for each MVP after
You
that.
gotta be kidding me.
And also, he's getting security for family at home and road games. Now, I was going to ask you and anybody else listening, what would you ask for if you were Juan Soto? Obviously, you have a lot of power. You have a lot of leverage, right? You could pretty much ask for anything, and they're going to give it to you.
I don't know. I'm thinking like full-time driver. Like just need a driver everywhere for me and my
Full-time
entire
driver?
family. Yeah, it's just driver.
I'd say like
on demand, like on, let's go.
I'd say like pay my mortgage or
Yeah,
rent
but you know what I'm
wherever
saying,
I'm
yeah.
living.
Just a driver to get me around.
Yeah,
places.
you have to pay for a vacation, a week stay vacation anywhere I want. You have to give me an unlimited supply of chicken wings.
That done.
Because like the guy had so much leverage. Did you see what's LeBron James doing?
I don't know. He had hurt foot.
Is that what it is?
He's been out with a hurt foot. There's a lot of other speculation too. I'm not going there.
I'm just saying there was a New York Post
I know.
story that said he stepped away for
I
personal
know.
reasons.
I don't know. There's been a lot of slander because he made a comment about. Can I even say it?
I don't even know.
He made
what
a comment about how great Diddy parties are.
Oh.
So he's taking a lot of heat. But he's also had an injured foot. Speaking of the NBA, did you see? That's why I hate the NBA a little bit. Did you see the NBA record that was set with the Mavericks, the Mavs, and the Warriors?
What happened?
Dallas won 143-133. That's not the story. It's the 48 3-pointers that the teams combined to make. Previous mark was 44. They made 48 combined threes.
Well, there was a complete opposite record
Oh, my God.
that was broke in the Hornets Bulls game.
Yeah.
Did you see this one?
I heard about
It's
this.
the complete opposite of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're talking about a record that was broke of teams making threes.
Yes.
A record was broke of teams missing threes. In the Hornets Bulls game just a few days ago, they combined for 75 missed 3-pointers, the most ever in regulation in NBA history.
That's why you hate it, right? There were the teams, those two teams, the Mavs and the Warriors, combined to attempt 95. Now, they both went 51% and 50%.
All right.
That's crazy.
I wanted to, maybe this is like, could trigger a conversation for tomorrow or Wednesday. You know, there's a lot of talk about pushing the portal transfer window back, after Bulls season. A lot of people want that. And I think this is another reason. Marshall, they had to opt out of their bowl game
It's
against
awful.
Army because they lost 25 players already to the portal. They don't even have a team to
They
compete
don't have enough.
with.
It's awful. It's absolutely awful. Absolutely, we can talk about that. It's a bad deal. I don't know if there's an answer.
Yeah, there is.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
So what you're saying is even if you move the portal window back, people
win.
are still going to enter or announce their intention to enter the portal.
and they're going to sit out. their intention is to leave the school. They don't really give a rip about the bowl games. So even if you're not in the portal, I'm like, all right, I'll go, but I'm sitting.
Why don't these coaches tell the players, hey, man, if you want to enter the portal, that's fine, but play in this bowl game, and then you can leave.
Did you see this Devondre Campbell for the Niners on Monday night? He's going to be suspended for the rest of the year for conduct detrimental to the team.
Oh, what'd he do?
He refused to play in the third quarter.
Oh, that's right. Wow. Yeah. We've all been there. You just don't want to work.
So they're going to suspend him because if they waived him, he could get picked up and play somewhere else. They're going to suspend him because they could recoup some of the $3.5 million signing bonus that they gave him.
I just want to go home.
It's like the third quarter.
By the way, if you're looking to bet on the AL Central division winner for this upcoming season, there's some value in the Chicago White Sox.
Oh, gosh.
Listen to these odds.
Let's hear it.
The Guardians are the favorites at plus 195. The Twins at plus 200. Tigers third at plus 300. The Royals plus 430. And then, the Chicago White Sox at plus 50,000.
Gosh.
Plus 50,000.
Oh.
There's some value there.
The better, I saw this on X or Twitter. I always call it Twitter. But the gentleman tweeted out that he put down $9.75 on Jonathan Taylor touchdown, and he dropped it. You saw that cost him like $4,800 on the win.
Oh, wait! I think it was $9.
He bet $9.75 is what it said. The payout would have been $4,800 or something.
I don't know. How would he win that much?
I don't know. I wonder if it was the leg of a parlay or something. Like like third or fourth leg,
The last leg.
By the way, they're pre-selling tickets to Kansas City for the Huskers and Bearcats tomorrow.
All right.
Pre-sales. All right, you guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Victory Monday. Have a great day. Catch you on a Tuesday.